Hey guys, it's me, Travis, the CEO and founder of PlayerProps.ai. This episode, or this show anyway, is I think version 3 of how to use the player prop predictor we have on the PlayerProps.ai app. Every time we add a substantial amount of new features to a specific tool or just update it tremendously, it's always best to do a new video to cover all of the new things that are in there. So if you're watching this for the first time, welcome. You're joining us at a very good time. We have a lot of cool things, a lot of cool features on this app, and we're specifically focusing in this video on the player prop predictor tool. Now, if you have questions about other tools, the same way you found this one by clicking the button on the top of the app where it says tap to learn how to use the predictor, you can use that, tap that button on every single tool. A video pops up just like this one teaching you how to use it. Make sure that you are listening to the words coming out of my mouth on how to use the tool, because I have seen people who just assume they know what they're doing. They plug in a handful of things they see in the predictor and then they lose and they go, oh, this app's no good, because you didn't listen to the words coming out of my mouth. I am telling you how to have success with PlayerProps.ai. Now, if you need any kind of more motivation or backup on that, you should already be in the Discord. Have your account synced so you can see all the channels. Look at the thousands of testimonials we have from our VIP premium members and everybody in the Discord and the testimonials channels. But if you're not in there yet, you see on the top left of the app, there's a Discord logo. You tap on that, that gets you into our Discord server. And then of course, you follow the steps in the get access channel to sync your accounts. But we're not here to talk about Discord. We're here to talk about the player prop predictor. So let's go through every nook and cranny, every bit of detail that you see on the screen, what it means, how to read it, and how you can use this tool to win a lot more of your player prop picks and lose a lot less. So one thing at a time, let's go through the top and just work our way down. So let's go through the filters. So the very top of the page, we have top left here, this is the profile icon. This will actually take you to your profile page where you can, if you can upgrade from there, you can do a bunch of things from the profile page. Right here, like I said, this is how you get into the Discord. This is a calendar. It is very important to notice what the day on the calendar is. If you are looking for a specific game, so let's say you're looking for, so right now we have pulled up on the screen, we have Sunday football. Where's the Monday Night Football game? Why can't I find Monday Night Football players? Because you haven't selected Monday Night Football date. You have to click this, click on Monday, and then click OK, and then it will show you the things that are available for that day if there's been any projections already created for that. So again, you're not going to find what you want unless you make sure you choose the date that that game is on. This top left one is you're choosing the sport. So as of the second, because we're looking in the future, we only have NFL and NHL. If we go back to, today, on Saturday, December 21st, we can go back a day and it'll show a lot more things because it's the day of. So we have college basketball, college football, NBA, NFL, NHL. Got a lot of stuff on this puppy. Then what you do is you choose the source. So the source is also the same for Sportsbook. Now, we have built in DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, BetRivers, Caesars, and ESPN. We're constantly looking to add more sportsbooks as well, so keep checking that right there. This filter chooses the stat. Do you want to look at receiving yards? Do you want to look at anytime touchdown, passing touchdowns, rushing yards, rushing and receiving yards, all of that stuff. So you can look at all of those things, and that chooses what stat. Search players here, self-explanatory. You click on this, type the player name. You can even type a few letters and we'll pull all the players that have those letters in the name. Something to note here, if you have not used a search bar on an iPhone app, not just our iPhone app, but an iPhone app in general, Apple has this weird zoom thing. So when you tap on it, you type in a name, it won't let you zoom out until you double click somewhere else on the app. This is very, very important because a lot of people don't realize this is not a PlayerProps.ai thing. This is an Apple iPhone thing. So if you click here and you type in a name and it won't let you zoom back out to the regular size screen, like up here, somewhere up here around where it says predictor, just double tap and it'll zoom things back out. So that's the trick with the gosh dang iPhone zoom. Right here is what you're sorting all of these players by. So right now, the default sort is diff, which stands for difference, which we'll get into in a second. You can sort by whoever has the highest percentage of hit rates over their last 5 games, their last 10, over the course of the season, based on their percentage difference, which we're going to go over in a minute, based on their AI projection. And this is a new feature that we're covering today as well for the first time, based on their AI accuracy, and then based on their hit rates against the team they're versing today, if they have any data, if we have any data for that opponent. This here sorts things essentially by over and under. So for difference, because the O is selected, we're sorting by who has the highest difference for an overplay. If we wanted to see the highest difference for an underplay, we just click on the U here, and it shows you the highest negative difference. So this is the highest negative difference out of the 2 games that are today, which is Saturday. There's only 2 games, not many people to choose from, but that shows you all of those. That's why originally I was looking at Sunday, because there's just a lot more NFL games that we were looking at. So yeah, there's a lot. You can do under, you can do over, sort that way. So you can play around with this filter and look at that. Now, right here we have all selected, which is showing you players from all games. See, there's plenty of games on Sunday. Let's say you only want to look at the Philadelphia-Washington game. Just click on it. Just tap on it. It'll only show you players from that one. Another new feature we've recently added by popular request is you don't just have to choose one at a time. If you only want to see players from Philly, Washington, and the Colts and Titans game, you can actually click on both. So it'll only show you players from those 2 games and none of the other ones. If you're looking to reset real quick, you can tap on them to unclick them, or just go back here and click on all, and it just kind of resets that. So that's the things up here. Now let's go down to the data you see on the screen. So here we have the line. So on DraftKings, which is what you chose as the sportsbook you want to look at, for receiving yards for this day, for this game, Jacksonville and Las Vegas, that's on this day at this time, Tank Bigsby has a receiving yards line of 2.5. I didn't mean to click on that. We'll go back into that. We'll go to that screen in a second. Don't worry. So that's what to pay attention to there. Before I get to accuracy, we're going to talk about all the stuff below that because this is the newest thing, and I'll get to that in a second. So these 4 white cells here, over, implied, projection, difference. Let's go through those. Over. Because you have the O toggled, because you have DraftKings toggled, it is showing you what the over odds are for Tank Bigsby on his 2.5 receiving yards line. If you look for Tank Bigsby's under line, all you have to do is click under and search for Bigsby or scroll down because he'll be at the bottom since he has such a high percentage difference after you click on U. He'll actually be the lowest one when you click on U, but it will show you his under odds if you want to peep that real quick. Implied, so this is implied chance or implied probability. So if you don't already know, an odd, so minus 110, plus 150, minus 1,000, plus 5,000, all of those, there's a formula, a math formula to show what the implied probability is of that odd, or of those odds. And so minus 110 is always going to be 52.38%. This is essentially the same as a coin flip. Because you see down here, Dawson Knox is minus 120 on his overline. At minus 120 means a 54.55 implied chance. There's actually, if you want to play around with calculating implied chance, if you go to your profile here, this is just something I'm going to segue to real quick. Click on profile, click on calculator, and then go to implied. And you can type in any odd you want to, and it'll tell you what the implied chance is for that. So that's another new feature we added as well, the calculator, which again, click on this profile icon, click on calculator, you can play around with that. Now, so that's the first 2. The odds of what you selected, DraftKings over receiving yards, Tank Bigsby minus 110. Implied, the calculation from this. Projection, that is what our AI models are projecting for this player, for this game. They're saying, referring to the AI models, the predictions, that Tank Bigsby should get 4.26 receiving yards as his projection. The difference, where you see it says plus 71%, what we do there is we take the AI projection and we take the line, the 2.5 receiving yard line. What's the difference? 4.26 is 71% higher than 2.5. When you get super, super small lines like 2.5, you get differences that are pretty high up there, like 71%. But when you get to more normal lines like 40, 50, 60, you're never going to see 71%. It's just the smaller line, the more variant the difference can be. I'm going to go through these bottom ones here, and then we'll go back to the accuracy, which again is the newest feature we just added yesterday. These are colored for a reason. What you see in these 4, I guess I would say gray, black squares here, you see L5, L10, SZN, and H2H. This is Tank Bigsby's hit rate over the course of these amount of games in comparison to his current 2.5 receiving yards line. So let's go through that one by one. In the last 5 games, Tank Bigsby has gone over 2.5 receiving yard lines just 40% of the time. In his last 10 games, just 40% of the time. Over the course of the entire season, for every game he's played, 33% of the time. And we don't have any data on him with a receiving yards line versus Las Vegas yet, which is why it says NA there. As you see with Dawson Knox here, because his is if it's above 50%, it'll be green. If it's below 50%, it's going to be red. If it's 50% exactly, you're going to see this gray square around it, like the H2H is here. So 80% in those last 5, 60% in those last 10, 58% of the course of the season. So that's, again, what those mean. Now, let's go over the accuracy side of things. And what we're going to do for that is we're actually going to look at the player info page. So when you tap on a player, so again, we're going back to the predictor. You click anywhere here on any player, and it takes you directly to the player info page, where you can see this nice little bar graph. And there's some other things here we're going to focus on in a second. But again, we're focusing on accuracy right now. This is what accuracy means. We're not saying how accurate Dawson Knox is at hitting his line. We already covered that with these 4 squares down here. This is how accurate the AI is in predicting Dawson Knox receiving yards projections. So, to go in more detail on that, the number here next to the percentage is how many games are accounted for that produce this number. So to have at least one game, we have to have, because you chose DraftKings up here as your sports book, we have to have a DraftKings receiving yards line that was available for Dawson Knox. We have to have the Dawson Knox total receiving yards from his box score after the game was over with, so his historical data, and we have to have an AI projection for Dawson Knox for the same day for the same stat. So what 9 is saying is that we have 9 games that we have recorded a DraftKings line, a Dawson Knox result of what he actually did in the game, and an AI prediction. Out of the 9 times that we have recorded those 9 games, the AI has predicted the correct side, not just him going over, has predicted the correct side regardless of over or under 66.7% of the time. So, right now on the screen for this particular game for Sunday football, you see that his line is 9.5, his projection is 15.16. We don't bet on him getting 15 yards. We're simply betting on him going over 9.5, which means he needs to get 10 or more. If he gets 10 or more in this game, this accuracy is going to go up. However, flipping that around, let's say his line was 9.5, but his projection here was only 5.16, which means we're betting on him to go under 9.5 receiving yards. If that's the case, if the projection is lower than receiving yards and he doesn't get 10 or more, then the AI was correct and him going under. Because the AI was correct on him going under in that scenario, this accuracy goes up, and this will go from 9 to 10. So it doesn't just say how many games has he went over, because that's what these down here are for. The AI will predict. You can play around with the app as much as you want to. Those are going to be a lot of plays where it's going to have the projection lower than the line. And if that player gets lower than the line in the actual game, that prediction was correct. And so that counts as a plus. How does the accuracy go down? If in this game with a 15 projection in a 9.5 line, he gets maybe 9 yards or just anything between 9 yards or less and does not get over 9.5, this is a loss, and this will show 10 here, and this accuracy number will go down. If it was 9.5 and the projection, again, was only 5.16, which means the AI was recommending under, and he gets 10 or more, this is a loss. So this will go down, this will go to 10. So that's how the AI accuracy works. Pay attention to this number as well, because if you see 100%, oh man, this is 100% accurate, the AI, and there's only one number in there, that means there's only one game accounted for. And the one game the AI predicted the outcome, it was correct. So of course it's going to be 100%. Same thing with 0%. 0% doesn't mean everything's horrible. It just means that there's only one game, and the AI leaned towards the opposite side of what actually happened in the game. So that is the AI accuracy. It's a brand new thing we just literally dropped yesterday, And we have some videos kind of explaining it, but I wanted to create this all-inclusive video for this tool for everybody that's joining us for the very first time. Now that we've covered that section, let's continue to go down, and let's go over some other stuff here. Projections here. So instead of you flipping around to other stats that we may have for a player, this will show you what the projections are without you having to click a bunch of different stats here. So besides receiving yards, which we already know is projections at 15.16, it'll also show you other projections we have. His reception projections, 1.56. His anytime touchdowns, 20.22. 22% chance, essentially, of getting a touchdown. Now, here, this is pretty self-explanatory. The gray line you see going across here, this is set at his exact line of 9.5. So if it's higher than that, you see the bar is green. If it's lower than that, you see the bar is red. It'll tell you what his exact number is when you hover over it, as you see here. It'll tell you what the date was of the game, and it'll also tell you what the opponent was as well. You can change these bar graphs. So the default is last 10, as you see here on the screen. You want to see only the last 5, click L5. Well, that looks a lot better because he's got a 80% hit rate over his last 5 games. Last 20, we can do that. Over the course of the season, we can do that as well. And then if there's any head-to-head data, you can click on that, and it'll show you head-to-head data. But again, there's no head-to-head data for Dawson Knox for this matchup right now. This feature down here is really important for people that play on sports books or prop apps like Prize Picks that maybe aren't part of this drop-down list yet. So we have other tools like Optimizer, which technically we call it the Prize Picks Optimizer, but I strongly suggest never, ever never get the app and go straight to this, even if you play on Prize Picks. You always want to master the predictor first. And you might say like, oh, but well, how can I play on Prize Picks or some other sports book if I don't see it here? This data is universal. The only thing that could be different is what the odds are and what the line is. So, that being said, if you have a different sports book or you're playing on one of the prop apps and the line, maybe say the line is 10.5. If the line's 10.5 and you can't find another 10.5 line by choosing a different book, just come down here, go to the alt line thing, this little feature at the bottom of every single player prop page like this, and just make it 10.5. Every click goes up 0.5. So you change it 10.5. Now what that does, as you see here, it adjusts this entire graph based on the line you choose. So if I just click this all the way up to something crazy, I mean, it's not really too crazy because, there you go. Let me see, I'm going to do one thing here. I'm trying to see if I can get something. I'm almost there. There we go. I was trying to turn these two red. But he had a lot of receiving yards those games. So, not only does the bar visual data update when we change the line from 9.5 to 41, but you see all of the hit rate stuff here, all updates as well. If you're targeting a 41 alt line, which that's not going to be the case, but I'm just showing you how this works. He only hit this 40% of his last 5, 30% of his last 10, 19% of his last 20, and 25% on the season. So that's how this works. You can just play around this as much as you want to and choose any kind of line. So if your book or prop app is slightly different than what you see here, no problem. Come down here, play around with it, click this around, and it will show you all the data you're looking for anyway, and it'll update the graph image as well. That, in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, is the player prop predictor. Again, as I just said, if you are playing on something that is not a traditional sports book, like a prop app, Prize Picks being one of those more popular ones, this still is the tool that you should be focusing on first and foremost. Even though we have things for prop apps in the optimizer, don't even touch this until you have mastered this. This is where the Prize Picks people and everybody else win the most money off of, this tool here. If you have any questions whatsoever about the player prop predictor, please let me know in the Discord. If you are not in the Discord, stop what you're doing, click this button, and get in the Discord. It is extremely, extremely important to your success as a sports bettor to get in the Discord, to follow the steps in the Get Access channel by syncing your accounts, and then by being part of the tens of thousands of other people in our community that's there helping each other daily. If you have questions, you can ask the community. Everybody there is helpful. We have the most chill, nicest people in our community. There's no trolls. or anything like that. So don't hesitate, no matter how silly you might think the question is. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Plenty of people are here to help you out. But if you have questions about this tool, ask in the Discord. If you have questions about this app, ask in the Discord. If you have questions about the meaning of life, ask in the Discord. Plenty of people there. Literally, tons and tons of people are there, and they're more than happy to help you out. Everybody in this community wants to see everybody else win, and we do it by following the guidelines, which are in the Discord, and making sure that we're using this app correctly. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is PlayerProp Predictor. Good luck with everything, and I hope to see you. I should see you. I don't hope to see you. I expect to see you in the Discord after you're done watching this, if you're not there already. But good luck with the app, and we'll see you guys in the Discord.